What's up, guys? Johnny Tacos here with another exciting and informative episode of the Johnny Tacos Show. I just want to say, hey, are y'all being cool and collective out in the summer? Summer heat with the rays can cause a damage to not only your skin but your organs. As well as your mind too, because if you get prolonged to a lot of heat, um, your 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 brain becomes I want to say it becomes disillusioned because of all the fluids that leak out through sweat and all that. But what I wanted to just put out there, because that I'm a big provider of water. Because I'm a father, I have 6 kids, so we usually carry a case of water, and if it looks like people are like, "Hey, is that a case of beer?" No, it's H2O. It's high quality H2O, as my buddy Bobby Boucher would say. Uh, just you need to keep hydrated. Water helps you, refreshes you, cleanses you. It keeps the sweat going to keep your skin away from being overheated. I know this year is a concert year, and everybody likes to go outside to enjoy. It doesn't matter what type of music you love. Um, Going outside, enjoying the nature, and enjoying your favorite band, you need to keep hydrated. And with that, I highly recommend drinking tons and tons of water. And because I personally had a heat stroke before, uh, is because when I was young and dumb, we were all young and dumb, and I was having too much fun, and I didn't keep an eye on my water intake. So I was pretty much dry. Because after a while, when you start sweating, um, when you get dehydrated, you start feeling cold, and that's when you know, hey, something's wrong. And it kind of affected my brain, which is probably why I'm crazy right now, especially having 6 kids and all that. That's pretty insane. But I just want to say, when you go out there and you enjoy going to the water park, or to a theme park, or to your favorite concert, your favorite venues, make sure you keep hydrated. Also, want to let you know that we have the new news for the Finding Hope Festival. We have Coltrane and Company coming up here in a couple months in October. So instead of watching spooky shows, you can come and enjoy some great worship music. I'll have the link below. Click on there, look for Finding Hope, and get the tickets. The tickets are selling out fast. It's going to be in Holton City. If you don't know where that is, we have a little map on there that can draw you to the destination. Come out and meet the guys. Um, Meet every volunteer that helps make that concert just a great experience for you and the Lord. So it's going to be awesome. Hopefully, we'll have hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of people that are searching for God, and they find Him through the awesome music. So if you do me a favor, click on there and get you some tickets. They are selling out fast. Like I said, they're selling out really fast. So also, Metal Grace is still in the air. I want to do it in November, but some things are coming. I'm trying to still find the venue, and there's never a lack of talent that wants to come and do that Metal Grace festival. So I got the peeps. I just need the place. So keep us in the prayer as we find the location, because I really miss putting on that show. And because of last year with my heart condition, I had to cancel that. That was the hardest thing that I had to do. So, but I am back working out, getting almost looking as good as my guest here with the muscles. And we are, we're getting at it. We're going to get this year going fully 100% for the Lord. So there's so much in store coming. I'm pretty excited. So, and if you don't have anything to do the first of each month, check out my buddy Randy Tyler and the Christian Open Mic, DFW Christian Open Mic, and it's over there. They have it in Fort Worth, White Settlement area. So give them a holler, tell them the Taco Man sent you, and maybe they will have some tacos for you. I keep telling them to make tacos because this is Texas, and Texas loves their tacos. Okay, that is enough of the announcements. And you know who I have? I bet you don't know who. He's smiling. He's excited about it. He told me, he said, I'm gonna take over the show because that's how awesome he thinks he is. So
Oh,
uh, we have Matt Pelt from Influence Music Worship.
yeah, glad to be here, man. Thanks for having me. Although you didn't send me any tacos, yeah, I was told there would be tacos in the room that I'm in.
Well, it's in your office being demolished right now. Uh,
That's
the
true.
the
Yeah,
voluntold people are eating your tacos right now while you're talking to me.
man, come on, man. Yeah, that sounds about right.
Yeah, for a fellow dad of six tiny individuals, mini me's,
Mm-hmm.
um, you look young for your age. I don't see any gray. I'm getting jealous. I
Got to
had to
get a
shave off.
little, you know.
It blends in with that hair color. That's what it is.
That's what it is. I do have some. My wife has been, lovingly pointing that out often now. So, yeah, I don't know how to feel about that. You know how that is. Like, it's just, man, what are you gonna do?
Hey, with gray hair comes wisdom. You
Hmm.
know, Moses had a whole bunch of gray hair, and you know how wise that guy was.
Right. And they also said that Moses was like out working all the other young guys too when he was 80.
I don't know if I can ever do that. We live in a world now that we can't live 300, 400 years like they did in BC times. And you know what? I'm kind of glad because I want to go to the kingdom. I want to be there with Jesus.
Yeah.
Now, plus, I think I need a vacation from the world,
Come on. Me too, man.
especially with everything that's happening. But there are a lot of good things that are happening, but there are still a lot of bad things, and we need to get out there and pray and spread the word of Jesus. We shouldn't rely on our government and all that. We should more lean on Jesus than
Yeah.
anything else because He is the way. Through Him, we see paradise. So, but
Hmm.
with that, you have a new church worship leader. Are you the worship leader? You don't seem too excited about it. Come
At,
on, man.
so okay, so it's a weird dynamic. I am the only member of Influence that lives in Georgia. All everybody else, um, they live in California where Influence Church is. So Influence Church um, is a church and a label, and so I'm part of that label and got connected with them, and so I consider Influence like my other church in California, but in Georgia where I live, I am a worship pastor of a church called Journey Christian Church. It's a small church, and it's just where the Lord has called us, man. I learned a long time ago that numbers matter far less than obedience, and we're just here. This is my second week here, so they, like you said, they are demolishing parts of what would have been an office and building new stuff. So yeah, it's been an exciting journey, no pun intended.
So so with you know, we're going to a church that has a smaller congregation, which I
Hmm.
love a smaller church. I love that feel where you can meet each and every one of them, have that
Yeah,
relationship with them, know their story. They know your story. You're completely vulnerable with them. A lot
sure.
of times you don't get that in a huge church. And even with the life groups that they do, you still want to feel like you're a, a part of the church. And sometimes with a mega church,
Hmm.
you get kind of drowned it out. And unfortunately, that's what happens with like Bethel
Hmm.
and even the Oaks here in Red Oak, Texas. It's a huge church, and people do that. But the small church, the really small church, you get the family dynamics of it, the drama. You get so much drama in a small
Yeah.
church. Um, how does that feel? Because you go with influence. You fly to California, right, to get to
Yes.
practice and to get ready for to go out and tour, right? Um, how does that feel to go from a small church to a big church? Does it give you a little?
Yeah. It's so influence is kind of the best of both worlds. It's not so big that it you feel like you're just a drop in the ocean, you know. Um, Influence is a great like if influence was in Georgia, it would probably be a mega church. I think they have about 800 people that go in California, but it's such a tight-knit community. So it feels smaller than it is just because of how they handle church and how they handle community. I came from a church before the one I'm at now, currently serving as worship pastor. Phenomenal church. They were doing so much for the Lord, but they had about 4,000 to 4,500 people. And I get what you're saying, where you kind of just feel like that little drop in the bucket. And it's not, they don't mean to be that way. It's just kind of how it is. And so it feels good to go there and to just serve and be served there. It's an awesome church.
And there are pluses to mega churches.
Sure.
There's programs out there. There's outreach.
Hmm.
With a mega church, they're able to produce more either money or clothes or food to go
Right.
and do the outreach. There's so many more programs that they can work with that a smaller church can't. And I'm not ditching, I'm not saying anything bad about small churches. Like I said, I love small churches.
Sure.
Sometimes if there's a program out there in the bigger church, I'll go there because us as Christians, we're always having that hunger to learn more about God and to
Yeah.
find programs that teach you and get you on that journey to
Right.
to be more Christ-like. And unfortunately, some smaller churches can't get that program because of fundage. It takes money to keep the
Right.
electricity on. It takes money for books
Hmm.
and even you know even personnel. So,
Yeah.
um, with that, do you feel do you feel the church you're in now, even though it's small, do they have programs such as that? Are you a part of any of those programs?
So I'm just really getting started at this church, and so they do have a decent amount of programs for a smaller size church. And yeah, so I'm a part of the men's group. Um, Obviously, we have the worship team that I'm a part of, and so we try to almost consider that almost like a small group as well, because you kind of get to know each other and you're praying for each other and you're loving on each other. And this church is not really old yet. I think, if I'm not mistaken, it's around 10 years old. And so we're at a place where we're revamping everything here. Like they're completely remodeling the lights, they're putting in a higher stage. Like, so it's cool to be a part of that process, to see them as they grow and what the Lord is doing here. So yeah, there's definitely our groups here, and I'm definitely a part of them.
Yeah, and being there at day one, or around the earlier stages, the sprouting stages, it's amazing to see where they came from and to where they are now. Um, and it just shows the work of God. It shows that He is alive and He's out there and He's flourishing and He's making all these promises that He had made come true because He is the great I am.
Amen.
And it is awesome to talk to you about it because anytime I want to talk about God, I'm always excited, and I love it when I got a person that loves talking about God too. Um, when you are out there, speaking of flourishing and going out and spreading seeds, when you go out on tour, well, let's rewind this back. How were you offered a spot in Influence?
Oh man, that is a that's a God story. So I've always written songs, but I never tried to do anything with the songs until like 20 end of 2021. It was like during the height of COVID, and my wife found out about this thing with Maverick City where you could do an online writing camp, and you have to audition for it. You have to send in a song that you wrote. Excuse me. I'm trying to get over this allergy I've got right now. So I sent in a couple songs, and I was one of 50 people selected. So I did the online thing, and then they were like, I think you're good enough that you should audition for the one in person. They only take 20 people. So I gave them some more songs, and they were like, yeah, let's definitely. So you go to this house. You remember early on, excuse me, in the Maverick
Wear a
days.
mask.
Yeah, you need to wear one. Um, you remember early on in the Maverick days when you would see the videos and it would just be all of them in a big room and everybody was worshiping. And so that's essentially what this was. So it was a riding camp, but at the time I didn't know what a riding camp was. And so they had the amateur riders who were me and the other 19 of the 20, and they had all these other professional riders. Now at this time I knew who these people were, but I didn't know that they were coming. And so I go to this camp, and there's Pat Barrett is at this camp, people from Passion, Maverick City, uh, a lot of local, well known, like Nashville riders that I now know. Um, and so they came in this room and they put me in the room with these other amateurs. And they came in and they were like, hey, can you come play guitar in this other room? Because you have two guitarists in here and they don't have one. When they put me in a room, they put me in a room with professional writers. I didn't know who these people were, thank God, because I would have been so nervous and scared. And so when they came in the room, I had started already working on this one song, and they were like, wow, what is that? And it was just a song that I had started. And so we finished that song. One of the girls in that room was connected with Influence. Her name is Lauren Evans. Man, she's been on tour with Tears for Fears. She's written songs for Jordan Sparks and several worship songs. She connected me with Melody, and the rest is history. Yeah,
So it all started with a, you know what, I'm gonna try. It's 2021. I don't really have a lot because everybody's pretty much locking down. So
right.
I'm gonna put faith. I'm gonna put faith in this, and I'm gonna push it through and see what God happens to have for me.
Yeah,
And then you get this, and you get to meet all these people. You don't even know who they are. They're like, "Hey, you gonna eat that last donut right there?"
it's pretty. That is pretty much. I'm making little goofy comments and saying things I wouldn't have said if I had known who they were.
Yeah.
And yeah, thank God. God knows what He's doing. You know.
Well, it doesn't matter how famous or how well known a person is. They're still a human. They were a baby at once. They weren't just
Yeah.
produced in the lab and say, here's your microphone, go sing. You
Amen.
they're people just like you and I. And when I met Kevin Young from Disciple,
Mm-hmm.
and I remember, hey, this is a big known dude. He's
Right.
pretty awesome. He's been playing music since I was in high school. And when I came up to him, I was like, "Hello." He said, "Hey, man, what's up? How you doing?" And it was just like you're talking to another person, which you are. You're talking to another human. You're
Yeah.
talking to another brother or sister of Christ.
Right.
And God doesn't want you to be afraid to talk to people.
Mm.
God God put us on earth to have this bond, to be a part of the branches, be a part of the tree.
Yeah.
And you know, people tend to idolize all these big name stars, and we all know what happened to uh, that big idol that was made out of gold,
Yeah.
and unfortunately, um, you can't worship a human, because I've met some people that I really looked up to growing up, and I
Mm.
met them, and their real personality was something that I I didn't really like.
Yeah.
And it just goes, the only person you should worship is Jesus.
Come on.
And the only person you should idolize is God, is Jesus,
Yeah, man.
because he is the redeemer. He is the light bearer. He is the one person that, or our Father, that is there for us through our bad times and our good times.
So
And
good.
he is the same as he was in the beginning. He's the
Mhm.
same as he is in the end. There's no changing in him.
Yeah.
And doing that, because I've noticed, if you start um, idolizing a human or looking up to a human, you're going to feel disappointed when they
Right.
fall, because humans fall. You fell, right? I fell a couple hours ago. I tripped. I fell.
Yeah.
I'm not perfect. I don't claim to be perfect.
Right.
Um, but we're here to do a job, and that what that job is to go out there and flourish and spread the good news.
Man.
Um, so how long have you been? Yeah, okay, 21. That's what, 4 years with the band?
So, okay, so I started going out there in 21. And funnily enough, the first time I went out there, I had a ride with Melody and a guy named Michael Barkulis, who's one of my best friends now. Um, he, we had rights, and this happened over like probably a couple month period where I went out there a few times, and the rights that I had with them were horrible. Not because of them, but because of me. Because again, as you said, you should not be worried about, uh, other people. But I knew these people had like been established and written some songs that I'd loved, and so I didn't want to screw up. But that's why the Bible says that the fear of man brings a snare. And so because of that, I wasn't able to be myself. And I asked Melody later, I'm like, why did you continue to write with me? And because the rights were bad. And she's like, Lauren had never vouched for anybody else in the entire time I've known her. And she's like, I knew that she wasn't wrong. And so when God puts the right people in your path, it sets you up for success, even when it looks like failure. So, yeah. So anyway, I kept going out there, and at the end of 2023, they offered me a deal as a writer, so a co-pub deal, which I took. Uh, about 6 months after that, they offered me an artist deal. And so officially part of Influence Music for about a year and a half to 2 years. Yeah.
And that just shows to the viewers or the listeners, if you keep persevering, you keep going, you keep doing what God has put you on earth to do, the doors will open. They won't just slowly open; they slam open.
Yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
uh, being an artist, have you had the chance to go on tour yet?
So we have done some interesting things. We were the main band for the Reawaken America tour. It's a crazy thing if you ever get the chance to like interview Melody. She was given a prophecy that somebody told her that she would be at the intersection of faith and politics. And this was a political thing, like it was going around to garner support and to try to make people aware of certain political things and stuff like that. And so we were that band for, I forget how many stops there were, but there was a ton. And so since then, we've kind of been doing one off things. Last year, we led worship in South Korea. And then we've done some United States stops and stuff like that. So right now, with our new album that is dropping, the full album will be dropping next month. Um, our next step is radio airplay for these songs. So that's what we're trying to do right now.
Yeah, and the quality of the music, man, is so awesome. With the with the song, this was Easy Surrender. That was
Mhm.
the first song you wrote for that for Influence, right?
Yeah, correct. I wrote that at the first writing camp that I went to with Influence, not the rights that I did with Melody and Bark, but this was an actual writing camp in 2023 in Temecula, and I mean there was a lot of people at that writing camp. You had Jeff Pardo, who won Songwriter of the Year. At one point, he co-wrote "My Jesus" with Ann Wilson, and Patrick Mayberry was there, Chrissy Nordoff. There's a bunch of people there. Anyway, so we Chrissy Nordoff and a guy named Ricky Jackson, who has written so many worship songs. Both of them have really blessed the house of God with their writing. They were there, and we got to write this song. I'd brought this idea for Easy. Yeah, it wasn't called Easy Surrender then. I had a verse and a chorus, and Chrissy had this idea of like, when you really see the Lord for who he is, it makes it easy to surrender. And so that's where this came from, that thought. And so it just was a great experience writing it with them.
And with that, having that song actually put on, and you're gonna have it on wax here soon with the full album.
Yeah,
Are you walking up a little with your head up high? Are you saying to the kids, I autographs are after the show? You kind of get
right.
that you get that feel of accomplishment. It always feels good when everything works together, and it gives you that kind of push to keep going and keep striving.
Yeah,
Um, because we're humans, we love that affirmations. We love affirmations. My wife tells me you love to be affirmed all the time. You love when and I have to agree with her. I love it when my wife says, "Hey, that's a good job." I was like, "Yes, yes,
that's right. Yeah,
sure." But us as humans, when we don't get that, we feel that that's when the enemy starts going in because we start doubting ourselves, and that's where that fear comes,
yeah.
the fear of failure.
Mm.
And with that, have you ever had that when you first started writing? Have you because you're human, I guess, right? You're not AI.
Nope,
You got
not at
all 10 fingers, right?
They're all here. Even a tattoo.
Oh, hey, tattoos, man. No, you can't be on my worship team. I don't have any. I don't know.
I know.
Ugh.
Yeah, I like that, man. It's some sick ink that you have.
But have
Yeah.
you ever had that feeling where you felt that that bite of fear?
Oh man, absolutely. I think there's still times that we can relapse in that, but um, it was a weird time, like leading up to me getting on with influence, uh, several people were just giving me prophetic words, and the Lord was preparing me. And like one guy had came to me and he had a prayer shawl and he gave it to me, and it was a worship leader that he used to know that had led worship all over the world. And he said, "Look, the Lord is saying that where he led worship in front of thousands, you will lead worship in front of tens of thousands." Now he didn't even know that I was this is the first time I ever met this guy. He didn't know I was even a writer, and he goes, "Do you write songs?" And the church started laughing because I had done so many of the songs I've written. And he goes, "You need to write every song and you need to stop worrying about if they're good enough." And so you hit the nail on the head because that was my whole thing. Like, well, I'm going to write this song. And like some of them, I was like, yeah, this is a good song. But the vast majority, you're just like, man, is this really a good song? And so he's just like, man, God is saying you got to stop worrying about if they're good enough or not. You just got to sing them for him. And that like really helped me to release some of that, what you're talking about.
And doing that and just writing out the songs that you feel and just writing them, not caring well, I didn't say not caring.
Yeah.
It's kind of a harsh, but not fearing of the outcome of what's happening
Right.
with there. Just to some trivia.
Mhm.
A secular rapper artist, Tupac.
Yep.
Before he was tragically murdered, unfortunately, what happened? He wrote a abundance of 300 songs,
Wow.
and he recorded probably about 80% of those, and the rest were written. And that's why when people thought that he was still alive, because there were still albums being pushed out because their family has the rights to the music. So his music was still living on after he had passed on.
Yeah.
Uh, that's what a real true artist does is
Right.
if your mind is pushing all this music out, um, you're going to keep pushing them out. And then when one hits, and it will hit. You know, what was that saying? A broken clock is right two times a day.
Yep.
But, the more you keep pushing, and the songs come out, you'll start getting these songs, and it shows your um what is that word when it shows your progress. It shows yourself kind of getting condensed into that artist, that singer songwriter that you want to be. You start getting finely tuned. That stone getting sharpened. The blades getting sharpened by the stone. Uh,
Right.
you start seeing how finely tuned these songs start going when you start pushing them out. Then they become easy. And then I'll be like 2 years later, I'll talk to try to get a hold of you, and your publisher or your somebody said, oh, he's busy. He's writing 50 songs right now. He's a little bit busy,
Ah,
like John Cooper did to me when I was trying to get him on the show. He's like he's writing on a new album. No, that album has already been dropped. I know Nashville. Come on.
yeah.
So, and you have some more songs that you have written that's going to be on the new album, right?
Yeah. So just songs that I have written. There's a song called uh what is the name of the song? Is that I'm Gonna Praise? Yeah, I'm not actually singing that. Zach.
It's like I write all these songs, so the names of the songs they just blend up. I'm
Yeah, so Zach Johnson, who's a part of Influence, and then a guy named Clay Finisant, who was the worship leader. I don't remember the church. It was with Andy Stanley. So he was the worship leader there. I think he lives in Nashville full time now. But yeah, but songs that I didn't write that I'm actually artist on. One is called "Look What the Lord Has Done." It actually is the next. single that will drop from our album. So right now we've had three singles drop: Easy Surrender, Easy Surrender, How You Do It, and then One True God, which is the title track for our album. And then the next song will be Look What the Lord Has Done, which is a duet with me and Melody. And the single after that is a song called More. And it's a song that a guy named Michael Ketterer and I do a duet on. He actually was the a Golden Buzzer winner on America's Got Talent about 6 years ago. Phenomenal singer, great man of God, just a great person. But yeah, so I think on this album, I co-wrote three, and I'm on like four or something like that. So yeah,
So you're on a pretty good chunk of that album.
yes, this is my first album with them, so I guess they're just making up for lost time.
Hey, and you're very talented. I had
And
Easy Surrender is really, I could see that being played by worship teams all through the world. I could see
thank
that
you.
once people start getting into it and they start seeing the feeling and the words behind the music. And I could see that being played at my church too. So
Mhm. Well, you know what? You just need to drop that off to the worship pastor over there and be like, "Hey, look, um, play this song."
yeah, play the song now.
Come on, man. Look, I pay tithe around here. All right, so I get to choose the songs.
I mean, like
Uh,
I can easily mute you during your sermon.
that's right. If you're running the sound, man, come on.
Uh,
Yeah.
but we're getting close to the end of the show.
Yep.
I just want to say, Matt, it's an honor to meet you. And I need to get me one of those hats. That is a sick hat.
This is the first one. I got it straight off the press when I was in California last week. And dude, I will send you one. Send me your address and I'll get you one.
Let me get it closer up so the viewers can see.
Can you see it?
Yeah, look at that. It kind of looks like right where influence is that triangle. It looks like one of those air.
Yeah, it kind of does. Yeah. So,
That,
but yeah, man, I'll send you one.
that's pretty sick, man. That's
Yeah.
really awesome, dude. Hopefully I get to interview a couple more of the guys on there, and I can't wait. Are y'all going to come through Dallas by any chance?
So we don't have any tour information right now. So Melody, who is the one of the leaders of influence, just had a baby. Whitney has two small children. So we're just right now we're focusing so much on radio airplay and this new album that's coming out, and we're just going to see where the Lord takes us. And if we do, I will let you know for sure.
Awesome, awesome, and you never know. Next year you can be on the Finding Hope festival. You know,
Man.
and it wasn't Coltrane and Company. I don't know. I was thinking John Coltrane from like an old song. It's Cochran and Company.
I was
Cochran and
wondering.
Company, not Coltrane. I was just now thinking about it, and that's what happens when you have ADD at my age. You know, 40.
Coltrane and Company is the cover band for Cochran and Company. They
Yeah,
just,
we're doing the cover band. We can't afford the real people.
dude, that's awesome, man. Wish I
So
could be there. It should be a fun time for sure.
yeah, and hopefully I won't get too nervous when I'm out on that stage with thousands and thousands of people.
And in Jesus' name, you're gonna be awesome.
Yeah. Hey, and you know what I've learned when I ask people is like, what is the one thing you can do to overcome stage fright? And the one thing I've heard abundantly was first go to a place and get with God and pray.
Amen.
And then the second one's picture them all naked, but then that'd just be weird at a church to picture people all naked.
Yeah, don't do that one.
No Adam and Eves over here, please. Anyway, hey, thank you for being on the show. It's an honor to meet you. I look forward to hearing all the new singles. Um, and you got a new fan.
Bro, you got a new fan as well. I appreciate you, man. And dude, I just pray for your podcast that the Lord just opens it up to go to wherever He wants it to go.
Awesome, man. And I know he will. He always opens those doors, especially when I least expect it. And for all the other new listeners that happen to stumble upon this show thinking I'm going to cook some tacos that I misled Mr. Pelt with, um, you came to the wrong place. But I do serve edification, and the edification is Jesus Christ and
Come
what
on.
he has done for you. So
Amen.
please, if you like what you're looking at, please like, follow, subscribe, whatever all the little catchphrases that YouTube likes to hear. And also like and follow Matt, and I'll have all that information at the I think the yeah description is right down there. Not on my desk because that'd be just weird. I don't want anybody coming to my studio and looking at my desk, looking, hey, where's that link you promised me? No, just scroll down there. You'll get links for Matt. You'll get links for influence. You'll get links to keep yourself hydrated. Get links to finding hope. You get links to DFW Open Christian Open Mic. Westminster Effects, the Hard Look podcast with my buddy Chris Johnson, where he does that hard look and biblical, kind of that crossroads, like you were saying, with political and biblical, and it's just amazing. Like last week, we had a how some of the cities are turning into modern day Sodom and Gomorrah, and we
Yeah.
already know the ending of those stories. So if you haven't had a chance, check it back with last week. Go through there and give Chris a shout on his Hard Look podcast. I can't say enough for him. Um, he was my producer, but he's moved on to doing his own thing. But he'll pop up every now and then. So, all right, we are done today. I am so happy to get to talk to each and every one of y'all. Until next time, stay classy, San Diego. If y'all are movie people, y'all should know what that's from. If you like this episode and you want to hear more, please like and subscribe to get the latest and the greatest from the Johnny Taco Show.